everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Christina and today I'm doing a get ready with me, which is why I look like this right now. So it is relatively early in the morning. I have my second cup of coffee, I have showered, I have checked all my emails, and I figured now is a good time to get ready. I do apologize though because there's a lot of noise in my apartment complex today. A lot of people have been moving out. It must be like the time of year to move out of your apartment, but they're doing work on that apartment over there. They're doing work on an apartment behind me, so if there's noise, I really do apologize, but I am in super pre-filming mode. My mom is visiting me next week, and I'm trying to get all of my videos for this week and next week ready and up by like Thursday of this week. So I'm a little frantic. I need to get this video going and I need to film like 2 more videos today, and I need to edit a few. So I am in super work mode right now, but I'm very excited because my mom's visiting me next week. But today's Get Ready With Me is actually a really special one. I don't know why I rambled for so long because today is a very special Get Ready With Me. Today is a collab Get Ready With Me, which is something I've never done before, and it's with my friend here on YouTube, KAILEE Wesley, and I love her channel. I love her. She comments on almost all of my videos, or all of, actually she might comment on all of my videos. She's like the real MVP because she is always on it. She always is there when I upload, and she is the kind of person you need in your life if you want some loyal friends, because she's there. I love her and I love her channel. She does a lot of really good eyeshadow looks on her channel, and she's just very warm and welcoming, so definitely go over and check out her channel. She'll be doing the same thing that I'm doing, which what we're doing is we're doing a get ready with me, and while we get ready, we're gonna be telling you 5 to 10 things that you guys don't know about us. So if you want to know some secrets about me, this is where it's gonna go down. So before I start getting ready, definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button because I upload every single day, Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard, and I don't want you guys to miss out on any of my videos. If these are interesting to you, I do Get Ready With Me, Project Pan, I do miscellaneous Harry Potter videos, and the like. So if any of these sound good, definitely make sure to hit that button. And now let me finally start getting ready. So if you are new to my Get Ready With Me's, I don't really talk about the products I use at all. I just use them. I will have them all in the description for you if you're curious, but I don't really talk about them at all while I'm actually getting ready. So I don't really know how many things I'm gonna end up telling you guys in this Get Ready With Me because I don't know how long it's gonna take. I'm gonna aim to at least tell you 5 things you guys don't know about me. And I think I'm gonna start out with the banger because I don't think I've ever told you guys this story. I may have mentioned it a really long time ago, but I've grown a lot so far this year, which thank you guys so much for all of the support this year. I've grown a lot since the beginning of the year, so I don't think I've told this story since growing this much. So the first story I'm going to tell you, and the first thing you guys probably don't know about me, is my sophomore year of college. I had this little 6-speed Honda Civic. It was a 1994 Honda Civic. It was turquoise. I named him Edgar because for some reason he looked like an Edgar to me. I named my car, and I loved that little thing. I loved zipping around in it. I literally loved that car so much. I went and I washed it every week. I made sure there was never trash in it. I made people clean, hit their shoes off if there was too much sand or dirt on their shoes. I made them knock their shoes off before they got in because sand is the most annoying thing to vacuum out of a car, just saying. I was on top of all of the maintenance. I loved that car. And I bought it right after I graduated high school, and I paid it off a month or 2 into my sophomore year of college. And I finally paid it off. I was really excited about it. Of course, as a broke college kid, I was very excited to have the extra money in my bank account every month because I wouldn't have car payments. So I was stoked. So 2 weeks go by. I haven't had, I've paid my car off. 2 weeks go by. I'm actually, my sophomore year, I had changed my major for education. It was very short-lived. They already go ahead and put you in classrooms immediately just to make sure this is something you want, because being a teacher is not for everybody. It was very clearly not for me. So for all of the people that keep asking me, why don't I teach because I have an English degree? Please stop. I don't want to be a teacher. Nothing in me is suited to be a teacher in any way. I don't want to do it. But I was leaving my dorm room to go down to my car because I was supposed to be having my field study, and I was supposed to be going to school. And I walked to where I parked my car, and it wasn't there. It just wasn't there at all. It was gone. I was very confused. I was like, okay, I know I parked here. So I walked around for a little bit. I was like, well, maybe I just forgot where I parked it. Maybe I'm thinking of another time when I've parked here. So I walked around a little bit. I didn't go to a very big school, and there was only so many places I could park because I didn't want to park too far from my dorm, so I went to all the places I normally park in. My car wasn't in any of them, so I panicked. I called campus police, and I was like, I'm pretty sure my car's been stolen. And when the campus police heard that, they like didn't say anything. They're like, okay, just tell us where you are. We're gonna come pick you up, and we'll drive around and make sure you just haven't not found it. And I was like, okay, I've been walking around for a while, but sure. So while I'm waiting for the campus police to get there, I called my work study. I'm like, hey, I can't come in. My car is gone. And they were like, okay. So I don't go to my field study that day. The campus police gets there. We drive around for about 30 minutes. We drive around the entire campus multiple times. And halfway, like 15 minutes into this drive, I'm looking at the dude. I'm like, dude, my car's not here. I'm like bawling hysterically because like my car's gone. Like, what are you supposed to do? My car's gone. So then he's like, okay. He takes me to the little like campus police station. I have to fill out a report. We have to like do all of this stuff. And then he proceeds to tell me that my car isn't the first car that was stolen that month. Bruh, I'm still so mad about this. This was almost 10 years ago now, and I'm still mad because he told me, so my car, like I said, was a 94 Honda. Back, the Hondas in the 90s they're pretty easy to break into in general. I always made sure I locked my doors. I always made sure everything was like good to go, but apparently they're very easy to break into. So the police officer begins, or the campus police officer begins to tell me, yeah, yours is like the 7th older Honda to get stolen this month. And in my head, I'm thinking, don't you think that's an important thing to maybe send an email out to all of students? Because a lot of us had like the early 90s, late 90s models of Hondas because they were popular, they're easy to fix up, Hondas last forever. I was like, and I even like looked at him and was like, don't you think that should have been in an email? Like, it's not that hard to make a mass email and CC'd to all students. Like, there's literally an email for all students. I'm still confused. I don't understand why no one was warned, because I loved that car so much, I would have bought one of those tire things. So it's like impossible to move the tire, what are they called? Like the tire clamps? I would have bought one because I didn't want anything to happen in my car. If I would have gotten an email, that's exactly what I would have done. I loved that car so much that I would have definitely invested in a tire thing so no one could jack my car. But nope, they decided, you know, it's apparently not that big of a deal, and they decided not to tell any of the students. So they found it a few days later, about 5 counties over, a few hours away, completely stripped of everything. I had a chrome shifter knob, they took that, they took the header off, they took my cold intake off, they took everything that they could feasibly take off by themselves. Like, they couldn't take the engine or anything because you need equipment to take an engine off, but they basically took everything else. Like, just everything else they took. So I get that call and they're like, yeah, we found your, they start off this phone call with, yeah, we found your car, and I was like, okay, cool, where is it? Can I go pick it up? And they're like, well, I mean, you can, but there's nothing left. And I was in such shock, it didn't register, and I asked the guy like 3 times, well, where's my car? And he's like, I again, don't think you understand. There's nothing left. And it took me a while, and after I realized that, I almost feel like that, I felt worse at that point, knowing that they had just taken everything, because I had done so much work to that car, and they just took it all. Just took everything. So I used to be pretty into cars. Like, I got into them because I loved that car so much, but ever since that car was stolen, I don't want anything to do with them. I don't care what kind of car I drive. I don't care about what kind of car you drive. I'm over it. So I'm pretty indifferent about vehicles now because there's no point in getting invested in something like that anymore to me. So yeah, that's my first story. Let me tell you about the time my car was jacked. That's the first thing you guys probably didn't know about me. So I'm actually gonna do my eyebrows real quick. I can't talk and do my eyebrows at the same time, typically, so I'm gonna go ahead and do them real fast and then I'll be right back. Eyebrows done, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and contour now. So, second thing that you guys probably don't know about me, I have actually never broke a bone. Oh my god, knock on wood, hang on. Okay, I've never broken a bone as of yet. I have gotten horribly injured though. I've had stitches like way too many times. Way too many times. So I'm accident prone. I've just been lucky and I've never broken anything. Again, so far, please, I pray that I didn't just jinx myself. But I do have a number of scars. I have 2 on this hand. I have 1 almost all the way across my shin. And those are like the major ones. Those are the ones I've had since I was little, and they're the most noticeable. I've had a few others. Like I used to have one on my arm from burning myself trying to get a pizza out of the oven when I was in college, but that one finally faded. But the ones I've had since I was little are still there. I guess I'm gonna tell you the stories of like one of the scars, because I know I've never told you, so that'll be like the 3rd thing you don't know. I have a scar on my index finger where I almost lost the first joint when I was like 9 years old, and I have a scar all the way across it. I don't know if it's gonna focus on my finger, but right there, there's a scar right there. And the reason I have that is because when I was like 8 or 9, I honestly don't remember how old I was, I just know I was really young. I was at my great-grandmother's house with my dad, and my dad has the same sense of humor as me, but when I was younger, I didn't like being laughed at. I don't know what it was. I didn't like laughter. Apparently when I was a baby and people would laugh, I would cry and throw a fit. So apparently I was really against happiness at one point. But my dad's sense of humor is really similar to me. He jokingly will make fun of you, like poke fun at you, like it's all like in good fun. And now that I'm older, I get it. But when I was little, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. And I remember my dad was doing something. He was just poking fun at me. And it made me so mad. And I ran outside and I was like, I just wanted to get away from him. And I ran outside and got in his car and I slammed the car door, and I somehow managed to have my finger in the car door like hinge, and I slammed the door on my finger and I almost lost that joint. It was bad. I don't remember it hurting because I think I went into such shock, but I remember panicking when I saw all of the blood. But my dad reacted really quickly. He got a rag and wrapped it around my finger, because otherwise it probably would have not been there anymore and I would have lost my joint because I was bitter about getting poked fun at. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy I developed thicker skin than that. But yeah, that's how I got the scar on my finger. Those are 2 more things you didn't know. I have a lot of stories about me getting hurt, apparently, but I don't really share these on the internet because they're kind of embarrassing to me. When I was probably 9 or 10, somewhere in there. We had just moved. That was not long after we moved to South Carolina for the first time. So I was born and raised for a while in Georgia. I need my eyeshadow palette. And when my mom graduated from school, she wanted to move to South Carolina to start teaching. So we moved to South Carolina. I was like 9 or 10. We moved to South Carolina. We were living in an apartment. I have a younger sister and a younger brother, and they were really little. I mean, I was pretty young too. And we had been living in this apartment for a while, and the apartment had a patio, and the patio had like a sliding glass door. And one night my friend from next door came out, like was outside, and she was waving at me from the outside of the patio, and like waved at me to come out to her. And I think I was drawing or I was doing homework, and I went to the patio door with a pencil in my hand. Now this patio door was, you know, pretty standard, except every now and again the latch would get stuck to open it. And of course, the time I'm going over there with a pencil in my hand is the time it gets stuck, and I stabbed myself in the eye with a pencil. The crazier part is I didn't feel it at all. I didn't know I was bleeding until my friend was like, hey, it was dark outside, so she couldn't really see me that well either, but then she was like, hey, like, there's something wrong. And I could feel something on my face, and I remember I put my hand on my face and looked, and it just looked like darkness. And so I went inside and I looked at my mom and I went, Mom, is there something wrong? And she screamed and like went and found like a rag or something and put it over my eye. To be honest, after my mom freaked out, I must have blocked the rest from my memory, because I have flashes of being in the car on the way to the hospital, and then I have a flash memory of being in the hospital seat, and that's all I remember. But I don't remember feeling pain at all. But I was lucky I didn't stab like into my iris, obviously, because I'm not blind in that eye. So I was lucky in a sense, but I did have to have these really nasty eye drops put into my eye, and I had to wear an eye patch. I think I might have told this story before now that I'm thinking about it, but in case you're a new viewer, welcome to my horror show. But yeah, that happened. I once had to wear an eye patch for like 2 weeks while I was in elementary school. That was fun times. Just super fun times. Y'all might know this, but I think y'all, maybe you don't, but I am actually really terrified of heights. Like really terrified of heights. I have a really hard time. We live on the 3rd floor. And I don't even like standing at the edge of our balcony. I know it's secure, but anytime I look down from any height, it almost feels like I'm getting sucked into a vortex. I hate it. It creates an awful pit in my stomach. I have a real phobia, and it really sucks because I like hiking and things, but I have to be very careful with like looking at scenes because it's almost like a feeling of vertigo is what I feel, and I hate it. Because I don't want to like miss out on things. I'm also really scared of the ocean. The concept of the ocean, what's in the ocean, I don't like it. I don't trust it. I just don't really care for the ocean. I think it's absolutely terrifying. Basically what I'm trying to say is I'm scared of any sort of like openness, because I'm also terrified of the dark, which a lot of like, I remember growing up and like being in high school, like you had to act like you weren't afraid of the dark. No, forget this. I'm afraid of the dark. I don't like being in dark places. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. Anything to do with that makes me uncomfortable if I'm physically there. Now, I love watching like ghost shows and stuff like that, and like that whole concept. I love watching it for the most part. As I hesitate because I realize that I don't like always watching those things. But yeah, I don't like the dark. I don't like the dark. I don't like heights, and I don't like the ocean. I'll go to the beach. I like the beach all right. As you guys know, I'm very pale, so I really don't spend that much time in the sun because I burn no matter what. I'll like go, when I do go to the beach and I need to like cool down, I'll go in as far as like my knees, or maybe sometimes I'll go like hip deep. But the last few times I've gone in and I've gone hip deep in, I swear, every time I once had a fish jump out of the water and hit me in the chest. I don't like that. That's traumatizing. So I don't really go to the beach very much, or I don't get in the ocean very much. I don't really like tanning because it's just not good for your skin. So I'm almost 100% certain I've never talked about this, and it's like what I would want my passion project to be. Like if I ever made a ton of money or like won the lottery or something crazy like that, I would want to start a dog rescue organization. I don't think I've ever talked about this, but it's always been on my mind that if I had like copious amounts of money, I would definitely want to invest it into like animal rescue of some sort. I have always been such a huge dog lover. I used to bring strays home all the time, and I know I've told you guys that, but I've never talked about what I would do. Like if I ever made it big on YouTube, even like if I keep doing this and if my channel ever exploded, which I don't think it will ever get to like a level where I could like feasibly make enough money to do anything like that. But if it did, I almost feel like it's more likely to, you know, hit the lottery. But if it ever did, I would love to start like an animal shelter, a dog shelter, a cat shelter, whatever, an animal shelter, and like just do my best to help rehome dogs. That's always been like a huge passion of mine, and I for the longest time wanted to become a veterinarian. I'm just not that good at math or science, so I told myself not to do it when I was younger, which I've talked about this before with you guys. I think for me, I should have waited to go to college, because the older I've gotten, it's like a lot of these things make more sense to me now. I always told my husband I was really bad at math, and I was always really bad at math in middle school, high school. I've had a tutor for math since like 3rd grade because I wasn't good at it. I had to take my college level math courses over again. But the older I've gotten, and my husband has seen me do it, I do math on my own now, and he's like, you're doing math, like you're doing typical math and you're doing it correctly. It's almost like, I don't know if I was overthinking it or with my age, it's just logically it all makes more sense now, because I mean your brain continues developing for a while even when you're in like college and stuff. So I don't know if it's just it all started making sense to me, but I almost feel bad because I feel like I stunted myself by believing that I wasn't good enough, and I feel like if I had known that that would have happened and I would have believed in myself a little bit more, I might possibly have been a vet right now, like a veterinarian. Like I could have actually been doing that right now, which is something that when I was little was something I always wanted to do, and I don't think I've ever told you guys that because it's it's one of those subjects that makes me kind of like guilty, and it kind of makes me upset because if I had started it when I wanted to, it would have been a thing. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I don't really want to ever go back to school. Like, I love being, like, I love education and I love the, like, concept of it, but it just takes so much time and money, and I don't know, at least right now in this time of my life, I have no interest in going back to school at all. And I mean, even to be like a vet assistant takes a lot of like commitment. It's not as much time in school, but I debated on it for a little bit and I don't want to. But if I ever did, you know, make enough money, I would love to do a rescue sort of situation or something like that. I also had the idea to do like a coffee shop bookstore, which was another thing. Like, I feel like I have like a lot of passion projects that I would love to do. I'm kind of all over the place. I have a lot of things I'm really like interested in. I don't really know how that part started. I think another thing I've never talked about with you guys is, I have no idea what number I'm on either, by the way. I don't know how many things I've told you. I think I'm over 5, so I think I'm good. And I'm getting towards the tail end of my makeup for today. I just need some like highlight and to finish up my eyes. But I think a thing I've never really mentioned before, you guys know I'm turning 29 this year, and I honestly, for the longest time, didn't think I would be married right now. Like, I pushed my entire life that I didn't really care to get married. Like, I definitely didn't want to get married young. My parents got married young. It never interested me because for me, getting married too young, as much as like I have a lot of people in my life that are young couples, and like they're happy, you know, and they get married, and I always say like, do you? But for me, it just didn't feel right to get married young. It's kind of like with the math thing. I just felt like I would still be developing so much, and I can honestly say in my life that I changed the most between the ages of 19 and 24. I changed into like 6 different people in those years, I swear. I don't, like, when I think back on things that I did or said or wore even, or like anything like that, it's like I was 6 different people in those years. I changed so much. That's when you really discover a lot about yourself. And I just couldn't imagine being married at that age because me and my husband have talked about this. If we had met in college, I think we would have like been attracted to each other, but we were so different. I don't think we would have ever really dated because me and him are very different when it comes to a lot of things. I mean, we align really well, obviously, or we wouldn't be married. Like, we align really well. But when we think about how we were in college and like between the ages of 19 and like 23, 24, we were just so different. I don't think we would have even like acknowledged each other as potential partners, which is crazy because I couldn't imagine life without him now. So it's just really interesting to me when I think back on how opposed I was to getting married and everything. Like, just being married right now is really fun to me, and I'm just so glad I waited. And I'm not trying to like dog on anyone who has gotten married young. Like I said, plenty of my friends have, you know, been married young and it's worked out. For me personally, I'm just so glad I waited, and I am very grateful for all of the frogs I had to kiss in the meantime, because dating, I do not miss it. Oh no, 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 I do not miss dating. Thank goodness it's like I knew what I wanted, because I dated so many people who were exactly what I didn't need or what I didn't deserve. I think I learned a lot about self-worth. I am going off on a tangent here. This is why I don't do Get Ready With Me, guys, because I go off on such a tangent. I don't like having this pencil near my eye for the story, exactly for the story that I just told you guys a little bit ago. So I'm gonna do my eyeliner and my mascara real quick, and then I'll come back, finish up the rest of my face, which I think for the most part it looks good. I might try to blend a little bit more of this blush down here because it's looking a little funny, and then I just need to pick a lip color, and I think we're good. So hang on one second, let me just finish up my eyeliner and mascara, and I will be right back because I'm getting very tangent-y. All right, I tamed myself. I got my eyes done, mascara on, eyeliner on. I have a little bit of yellow fallout under my eye that I can't seem to get rid of, so it just kind of looks like I have an eye infection. It's a look, kind of fits the theme. And then all I got left is my lipstick, so I'm gonna be, is anyone surprised by this? No one's surprised by this. This is my favorite lipstick of all time. It's the Limecrime Plushies in the color Turkish Delight. And I love it. It's so comfortable and it's so beautiful, and I think it will go good with the yellow. Why am I yelling? I'm trying to do my lipstick. Please hold on. Alright guys, so this is the entire look. I am done getting ready. I like it. It's very yellow. I didn't really know what I was going for today, but I haven't worn yellow in a while, and I was telling you guys things you didn't know about me, so I figured yellow would be fun. So this is the entire video. I hope you guys liked it. Again, thank you so much to Kailee for asking me to collab with her. I hope you guys enjoy it. Definitely go check out her channel to see what she tells you. I want to know what her secrets are. So I'm definitely excited to see her video as well, and hopefully you guys liked this video. Hit that thumbs up button if you did. Also hit that subscribe button before we head out, and hopefully that means I see all of you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye!